like juice. I let my hair grow out. I went into my roots. I know love is a quest that ain't found till it's loose. The Holy Spirit being found in this book like good God. Oh man, if you like great music
with the truth,
with no gimmicks,
then we got the episode
for you.
This is my room's a mess.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you we're back, better than ever because we're always getting better. Oh man, it's been exciting. 2022 has been crazy.
We're moving forward, bro. Always moving forward.
Banger after banger after banger after banger. Yo, I tell you, man, this week is no different. Oh man, when I tell you this dude is killing the game in absolutely every way possible. This man is, bro, he's a rapper, ladies and gentlemen. He's part of the collective.
He's more than a rapper though, artist stuff.
Yeah, he's an artist. He's yo.
The whole group are just a bunch of artists. They're not a bunch of rappers. They're a bunch of artists, bro.
Yo, this dude got you thinking.
A philosopher, yo. That's facts.
Yo,
that's facts.
When I tell you, man, this dude is killing the game in every which way. He's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met, bro. Like, what, you know what I mean? Usually I get nervous for these podcasts. He's so calm, cool, collected, man. I'm nice, cool, and relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not all jittery and antsy. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, he just released the latest, greatest project called Speed, and he's killing it in every which way. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I have the utmost honor of introducing my guy, Meech BOLD. What's going on, bro? Chilling.
I'm good. How y'all?
Word.
How y'all
I hope I did you justice on that.
Nah, you did more. You did more than I thought. I ain't sweating it.
That shit got me. Yo, that's facts, bro.
I literally, so when I think about these intros, I be thinking about them all day. Mm-hmm. And last night I'm just laying down like, oh man, we're gonna do this podcast. It's gonna be dope. And then I was like, I'm calling him a philosopher. I just had to.
Bro, I think I stated it in my music. So the freestyle. That's what I'm saying. Like Socrates. Those people, Aristotle, that's
my guys, bro. Philosophy is actually something that I'm like really interested in.
Everyone should be. Everyone should be. Yeah, 100%.
I actually, when we did a podcast with Real Relate, and that was like the last shit I said. They were like, "Yo, what do you want to leave the guests with the crowd with?" And I was like, "Bro, honestly, bro, study philosophy. That's number one because you study philosophy is really just studying how to be a person, in my opinion, how to be a good individual, how to live your life right,
how to think, bro, or how to get like different perspective on thinking." You know what I mean? So like a way you were thinking before is not the way you were thinking like soon after. Like I feel like, I've always said like, yo, I'm trying to, dive into so many different like genres in terms of like how I could grow my mind. And this dude, he's the one who truly, I knew what philosophy was, but I wasn't like really diving into it. Because of being friends with this dude, I've been like on it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been just trying to like grow and just like see the vision like, yo. So
I would like to start talking about Speed, bro. The album, I mean, the project you just recently dropped, right? I have a screen record. I'm trying to find it real quick. That literally, when I was studying for you, I was dying because I was like, bro, this is the energy that he's bringing on Speed. Oh. Because, bro, let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, I was saying the thing I would always discussion advisory, I guess you could say, is that that's mix. That's why I make sure it's a mixtape.
It's a mixtape. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I call it a project, right?
That's why I make sure it's a mixtape. The album hasn't happened yet. A full LP.
Hey,
it hasn't happened yet. So
the mixtape soon to come. I'm telling yo. So the mixtape is fucking dope, bro.
Thank you.
You came like this is how I feel like. I feel like you came out like Tyson in the first round trying to kill someone. Like you came out swinging.
Shout out Andrew for the production.
Yeah. Oh man,
I needed something fast, so I wanted.
So like just his production, your everything, just went insane. But yo, Jason got a cool ass video for you, bro.
Dude.
I thought it was a video. Okay, what is this? Let's see. Where the hell did you?
Watch that shit, bro.
Yo, that is hilarious, bro. What the hell? How'd you find this?
Yeah. Huh?
Where'd you find this?
I don't even remember where I found that shit. I'm telling you, I was just studying. Bro, you gotta watch it, yo. I'm telling you, the energy you had on the court that day
is
you're
insane, bro.
Bro, that was an where were we? We were that was New Hampshire. That was in New Hampshire. It's crazy because I can't access my Facebook, so I haven't seen that video in forever. But yeah,
I think that's where I found it.
It had to be Facebook, yeah, because I don't have it on YouTube or anything. I have something on YouTube. I have some highlight joint, but yeah, that was New Hampshire in 2012. Yeah, man, that's crazy. It's funny, but the story behind that, random story, but we had that year It was me and my guy Mark. I hope he's doing well. Mark Chadwick.
Shout out to Mark.
Mark Chadwick, hands down the greatest basketball shooter I've ever seen. Like shooting the three, like no bull. What to me, this is my perspective, but what Curry was, because at the time that's 2012, so Curry was still new. Like he wasn't Curry. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't his name. So when I saw him, I'm just like, yo, I've never seen this before. Dude scored like 56 in a game just with ease, and it was with ease, and it was weird because if I went back in time, I think the one thing I hated was that because if I was on his back, bro, we went to that tournament, and we were trying to go undefeated that year. That year we should have. And we lost the game earlier in the year, right, to this team in Rhode Island. I remember this perfectly. My memory's perfect.
Yo.
Especially with basketball. But we played this team called Masters Academy. They were in Rhode Island. They came, played us in January, and we lost. And it was some bullshit. It was the way it was just
Was it the refs?
No, it was just us because we would play like 3-4 games before Christmas.
Okay.
I hated our schedule. We played 3-4 games before Christmas, and then we go on Christmas break. So then when we come back, we have a game, and it's like we only had 2 practices.
Oh.
So it was just like we were out of shape. The chemistry was off.
Yeah. You guys just ate everything fucking hard.
Yeah, and we were young. You know what I mean? I'm 17 years old, so it's just like, yeah. And we played them, we lost. So then I look at Mark, I'm just like, bro, fuck that. Like, we got to dominate for the rest of the year. And we saw him again. We played him again, violated them. And then me and him, that was like one of my favorite basketball players I ever played. And I played in college, so I played competitively for like 10 years. So it's just like that was my favorite time because with him, he and me, we just coordinated. We were like the same height, different styles. You know, I was fast, I was cutting, I was more playmaker-esque. I could shoot okay at the time, but I was really more so driver. Yeah. And he can shoot. And to this day, I've never seen anybody shoot better than him. Maybe one other guy in college that I met. That's the only thing. So, and we played that tournament. The principal didn't let him play the game to get into the finals.
What? What did he do?
His grades.
Oh.
But nonetheless, we're like, bro. Nonetheless, everyone on the team was just like, fuck the school. Like let him play.
For real.
Because we never won. Our school never won a regional championship. So you win states. And then you go to regional. So Mass, and then the winner from New Hampshire, winner from Connecticut, winner from Maine, Rhode Island, they will all come. Tournament. And it's all private schools, like private academies. So we come together, play that team. We played Emmanuel Christian Academy from Connecticut. To this day, bro, I'm tight we lost that game. Because we lost that. The game you showed, we lost that game.
You lost this game?
The game you showed, yeah. We lost that game by...
Damn, you put up mad points in that shit.
Yeah, I had like 32. I remember that. I had 32 that game.
Fucking hoop.
And then the next game, I'm tight because that game.
You felt like LeBron that day or what? Because LeBron
the next day
he would be playing like crazy, and his whole team is just not there.
Bro, at that time,
that's a good comparison.
See, this is gonna get deep because at that time, I used to watch a lot of Austin Rivers.
Okay.
Austin Rivers was, to this day, I hope he's doing. He's doing well. My alarm went off.
I thought that was mine.
Nah. Because once it says noon, it's like it goes. But Austin Rivers, I studied him almost every day after school.
King. In high school.
Yeah, in high school he was amazing, bro.
Yeah,
and then,
dunking on people and shit.
Yeah, so he had a jab step, and then I would steal it. You know what I mean?
Fast. Yeah, I know.
So that was a big influence on my senior year. Was just like I would jab step jacket. You know what I mean? And then that game against Emmanuel, I was tight, bro. Because the fact we're starting on this tip is very important because I have trauma. From that.
You gotta let that shit out.
Yeah, bro. I have trauma from that shit. You finding that almost made me shed a tear because I was like, we should have won that game. That's one. Yeah. Two, our school. The last time our school got to the finals, my brother was a junior in high school. So it's like it's a deeply rooted thing. So,
so you were like keeping it.
He's 5 years. He's 5 years older than me. So when he was a junior, I was like in 6th grade. So when I went, I was like, all right,
you gotta do it.
I gotta do it. And so I was tight. And he didn't play the first game. We would have clapped that team by 30. I wouldn't worry. But
so wait, he didn't get to play that the whole time.
He played a consolation game, which was stupid. But
wait. Until you guys already lost?
Yeah, so if we won, either way.
So you went to a loser's bracket?
Yeah, we went to losers bracket, and then we smacked them. I should have had 40. I had 38. I remember that because my brother came. I'm telling you, bro. My brother was in college, and he was like, "I'm gonna come from UMass to come to the finals because y'all gonna win." You feel me? So it was like a bunch of pressure, and no one helped me.
And you're hooping though, yeah.
No one helped me. They were doubling, and I was just finessing away. There was a shot I made in the corner. There was a play. It was we were down.
This is from this video, right?
It's from that video.
Yeah, I see. It's in that video, actually.
I remember off the top of my head. It was like we were down 3. I think it was 42-45. I'm on the opposite side. The ball's on the left, and they're face guarding me. The guy's not even like letting me move. So then I just shove him. I just completely shove him, and like
Get the fuck out of here,
I was like, get the fuck out of here. I run pretty much all across the perimeter and just like snag the ball from our point guard. And then go to the corner. Like I literally went from corner to corner and just like in a circle, a semicircle, and did a step back, shot it through in the corner, made it. And that's when I'm like, okay, like we're gonna win this. And they it was some BS. I don't remember how they scored, but they scored something. And then I had an open shot. I had a 3 to tie it to make it 45-48. I remember it because a dude stabbed at the ball at half court.
Yeah.
On the right side, I pulled up. No bullshit. To this day, I'm tied up. Like I kind of wanted to forget it. Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because when we talk about it now, bro, I did everything right in my head. I was already hot. You know what I mean? I already had a good flow going. I was just locked in, bro. I had no fear of missing it. So that's what got me tight when I missed it. I was like, what the fuck? And it's crazy.
I thought it was written, right?
Yeah, I thought it was written. And then it's crazy because I missed that. We foul, right? So now it's 45. And they go to the line, bum ass dude hits 2 free throws, and now it's 45-50.
Oh,
and then in the next play, right, I get the ball pretty much just like it's like 15 seconds. I just dribble, and just pull it from half court. Just I don't know why. I just did it and I made it. And then I'm like, so now it's 48-50. So then when I know it's tight, I'm like, bro, I just missed the easy open shot. Now,
oh my god,
you can see it in the video. Like I lose the ball for a second, I just pull it damn near from half court. And I made it, and then it was 48-50.
I'm probably going fucking.
Bro, I was talking my shit to the crowd. Like I remember there was one. You could see it, bro. That's why they seen that.
You didn't even have to watch the video. He remembers everything that happened.
I remember I got the ball. They called timeout. We come out the timeout. I get the ball, turn around, dribble him down, and just pull it in his face. Once I made it, I just turned around to the crowd like, I'm just like, come on, guys. And yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So you showed me that, and then we lost next game, 38, whatever, and then the basketball journey in itself could be a podcast.
Yeah, I see. So I seen a podcast with the Love for You guys, the Love for You dudes.
Oh,
yeah, and they were talking about your time in Elms College, right?
Yeah,
and they were like, they kept like I watched the whole thing. They were just talking about how like, yo, your mental grit and like toughness was like it through the roof.
Yeah.
So how is that like the basketball, like how's like playing basketball transferred into your music journey?
Well, I mean, it still does because it's predicate in understanding that any team sport is gonna be something that's essential. Like if you didn't play sports in high school or in college especially, but high school, it's an experience. To this day, I'll talk to people who are 32 and they'll be like, yeah, my high school football team, because it just sets so many values in you, you know what I mean? And that's the pattern the world kind of wants you to go on, which is you have a manager, in this case a head coach, right? And you have a philosophy, you have goals, you have all those things. So
damn, I never thought of it like that.
It leads you, it leads you into like understanding just society a little bit more, and then team, you know what I mean, and selflessness, and
right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work without a team.
Without a team, and it's crazy because in college that was the issue. Like in high school, we won back-to-back state championships. So then it was a lot of sacrifice. You know what I mean? We had guys that bought into a role, and we were young, so like to have it because it was fun. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that sucks, because as you get older in age, you see more bad. Sometimes this is just life. You get older, more experience, more things happen. You have more situations. So once we got to college, you had guys, whether they face family grieving, you know, from death, to breakups,
I get you,
right, to, you know, family issues, all that stuff. It bleeds over once you're into your 18, 22 range a little bit more compared to when you're younger. When you're younger, you don't even know what's going on. Like
you don't even know yourself at that moment.
Nah, even when because my senior year, like my grandma passed that year. So that was, to me, I would have, to this day, I could literally probably show you sneakers in my trunk. When we leave, I always just keep a ball of basketball when I go work out. Yeah. And I have my college sneakers. I would write the day she passed. Like and that was my college sneakers. In high school, I did the same thing. So it was like, and at the time, I didn't realize how much was going on now. Yeah. But at the time, I was just like, damn, she's gone. Like you sad.
I feel like
I felt like basketball was like your outlet.
Yeah,
to release all
yeah.
that, you know,
and then the music bled over into that. That's the reason why the connection was so big at the time for me.
I mean, I even feel like your first project is like you can't really separate basketball from that project because it was called Swish and it was like all about
that was the ode. It was literally just an ode. Like that's the best way I could say it. It was a stanza just about my experience, you know, and it was. By the time I made Swish, I was like 21. Yeah,
so you were definitely still in college, right?
That was my senior. I graduated.
Oh,
like I finished
both.
it. I was, at the time, it was my senior year. I was working on it, and then when I graduated, I was just like, okay, like I got time. I did it almost every day, because other dudes in VB were working on their own stuff. So it inspired me to do something at the time, and that was the whole point of Swish. It was just like, this is something I was competitive about. It was my life for damn near a decade. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can remember being young and going to my brother's practices and just like sitting by the mat on the wall and just like have a ball between my legs and just dribbling and just see him do a move or someone do a move and I'm just trying to copy it. You know what I mean? Those were the type of things that to this day I could never get out of my head, because it's just like I admire my brother, so it's just like I saw him do stuff. I'm just like, I want to do step back, and then you know, so it was deep. It still hurts. It still hurts even the way like I left. You know how it was at Elms, because we didn't finish well either. My last year specifically. So, and to this day, 27 years old, bro. I can show you in the group chat with my friends from Elms. Like we still talk about what we would have done different. Yeah. Because you leave, bro. At high school, I left everything on the table, so I don't regret anything. The only thing I'm tight about is that Mark couldn't play that game.
Yeah.
After that, I did it.
Whatever that principle is, dog. Yo, bro, you're fucked up, dog.
Crazy because shout out Mr. Hicks. Even I'm tight about that. That's my guy, but
he's your guy.
I was tight. Yo. I make jokes all the time when I see him. I'm just like, you remember when you ruined Mark?
Yeah, yo, Hicks, man, you're a cool dude, but yo, you fucking shit up, dog.
And I'm telling you, bro. But these moments with music, even, you know, as we bleed into it, it's so important to people when you're like, even this podcast for y'all, I know how important it is to you. Because when I see a Mark, I remember I even saw a photo of Mark a couple years ago and it didn't look great. You know what I mean? And that's when I seen that, I said, I'm telling you, if Mark played that game, he goes through a different course. Yeah, I swear, that changes his life. I swear on God, like to this day, and it's not. I don't. There's no one to blame. Like Mark had to get his grades right. That's on him. Yeah. You know, I get that, and I wish, you know, mental health discussions at the time, I guess it was just like, you suck at school, you suck at school. Yeah. There was no discussion about it. And it was like, bro, you don't know
why are you
sucking? Why, like, where's your focus? What's going on? What do you want to happen after high school? These are discussions.
And then instead of asking those questions, they take away what is the one thing that probably is his outlet, which is basketball.
And to this day, I'm telling you, his father was amazing. His father was a coach. Our coach, amazing, Mr.
So he was a great coach too?
Yeah, amazing.
He must have been sad too. His son's not even playing.
Trust me. And it's crazy because I would want to catch up with. I saw him a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, but I got to catch up with him because last time I seen Mark was high school. I played an alumni game. My sophomore year of Elms. I came back. They had a
so it was like a couple years after.
A couple years. It was 2-3 years after, and he still looked alright. Like he looked fine at the time. But man, he could just sit. You could see there was a hole missing. You know what I mean? Like because he came and played, and it was cool just to like run that back, and we chopped it up and stuff. But something was missing. And then when I saw a picture of him like 2 years ago, it didn't look good. Yeah. It didn't look good, you know what I mean? He was like extremely overweight, receding hairline, you know, like he was his Facebook. It's fine, you know what I mean? But like his Facebook posts and everything were like deep, you know. I hope you're not depressing depressing tweets or something. But,
nah.
You know what I mean? So his mental just didn't seem right. So and it's tough because then I was like, where did that stem from? That's where my thought went. So that's the reason why for me, like. That's a small aspect of even to Swish, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that I think about. Elms stuff I think about with certain people that couldn't finish out seasons because of grades, or I had a teammate that passed away in a car accident, you know what I mean, my junior year, and it's like we didn't even start the season yet and it happened, and his service from the school was shitty, you know, and there was no respect at all, and it was a local kid too at that in Springfield. So the city felt that passing. And I saw it with my own eyes. And those are the type of things I'm like, damn, this kid just played basketball and was aspiring to the youth. So that was the reason why I was impactful for the city. You know, it was a young dude that didn't do no drug, do nothing, just died from a car accident because his boy was driving recklessly. You know, and it's just like, it's just things like that no one would tell you about in the process of anything. So like with the music, where we have stuff in VB now that's happening or will happen, you know, that's just the course of life. So it's always something that we're trying to coordinate with each other, make sure everyone's straight and doing well. And the work, even you talking about Switch, man, that's the point. You know, I don't listen to it, but I know what I was doing at the time. I meant well, because that's just, Luke was saying it the other day. We were talking about, like, we're just reality artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll tell you what's going on now.
I agree.
You know, and we have some aspirations. I might tell you, like, in the future what I might want to do, but 9 times out of 10, my work is about the moment. And then you embrace it, you indulge it, and go from there. So
That's deep.
yeah, bro. Trust me, the ball talk is deep, and it still in my spirit all the time. So
Real quick question. Who's the best baller in VB?
no, it's me. I took it seriously. No, it's not even me being like ego or anything. It's like, bro, it's just me. Even and it's even in the sense that we played pickup. Like, if
You gotta go easy?
if I'm gonna win, that's the moral story. So if I have to score, I'll do that. If I can just pass, if I can make someone else better, I'll do that. If I have to defend the best guy, I'll do that. Just because I have knowledge.
Who's the best
of
guy other than you?
After me, I wouldn't say order, but I'll be like Luke and ET.
Okay.
Like if I'm playing pickup, I'll be like, yo, Luke, ET slot. Back then, Felix used to play heavily, but as time went by, he just got artistic and stopped hooping.
He has. I was telling Grunge, you know Don Grunge.
Yeah.
I was telling Grunge, I was like, yo, the aesthetic with the shades is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen an artist do.
Yeah.
Just with the shades, it's like I've never seen that shit before. He's always covering his eyes,
and it's deep too, because I think he found it from Fashion Week magazine in like 2013. 2014.
I spent a minute then.
Yeah, and because I mean, Felix, he's a hard worker. He studies his ass off, so he's always reinventing himself, and it's a big reason. I mean, everyone in VB is an inspiration in their own ways. So I can say for Felix, that's the biggest thing I take from him. So when we were younger and he was just into the fashion heavily, he was studying everything, and he found that, and I think, to be exact, he found it at like a flea market. Like, it was just there. He's like, yo, I mess with that because it's an image. And he was heavily studying like Mason Margiela, who never showed his face.
Okay.
So like, that's why if you listen to like Spring Summer, could have been the next Margiela, but I wanted to rap. Like, it's little things like that. That's just coordinates with how I like
never
it.
caught that unless you said that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's deep. I'm telling you, everything with VV, I always will say it. No one,
Y'all are thinkers.
y'all got work to do. We listen to our projects because there's still things that dudes haven't caught. Trust me.
Every time I listen to any of y'all's projects, I'm just like, damn, bro, something new is coming, and I'm
Something
like,
new's coming.
what the fuck? Like, even listening to Luke do his shit when he was performing the Good Evil like a couple weeks ago, like seeing him talk was different. Like when you see him actually speaking the words himself, like it was just hitting me like bullets. Like Luke, he's a good kid. When he played that song, bro, that shit was like bullets, bro.
And all you guys do that shit. Like, it's
in our ways, and that's the beauty of it.
And like something I wanted to bring up was earlier. I was telling you, but when we first met you, like when we first saw you, bro, it was in Plainsville, bro.
Yeah, okay.
It was in Plainsville.
That's the first time I met you.
And yo,
Bad for Press release.
the Bad for Press.
If you didn't go to that shit, you fucking slacked.
You did that slack. So yo,
movie,
bro, I'm telling you,
dog.
y'all are going in. What song was it? What song was it where he Anyways, so the point.
It felt like damn near every record.
You guys were killing it, and we're like jumping with y'all, right? We're like getting hype with y'all, and then all of a sudden, like, it's like the beat like gets lower, and you're in the middle between everybody, and you're just going in, and you're rapping and rapping. And I have the phone, and I'm like shaking, and I'm like, oh shit! I'll show you the video. I'm like, yo, I'm shaking this shit, and then all of a sudden you finish, and like you guys hop off the stage, and you were like,
on the stage, bro. They were just in the middle.
All right, you hopped off like the section, right? And then you looked at us, and you were like, my room's messy, come find me. My room's messy, come find me. And I
was off Hennessy.
And I was like, yo, we gotta go find him, Jay. We gotta go find him. This dude's amazing. We gotta have him on the show. Because like, bro, it was like everyone's killing it, right? But that's one of the like performances that killed it. And I think you mentioned it a little bit, that stage presence, bro. You had that shit on lock. Like you came in like a fucking like a train, bro. Like,
I mean, bro, it's deep too, because it's like, I know for me, my flaws that I want to improve on. So a biggest thing for me growing up naturally was Brockton's a dangerous It's still somewhat dangerous, but it's my city. So now, but back then you thought it was just like right. You know what I mean? There's a connection you get to as you grow older, and that was a thing for me. Is that the music allowed me to be abrasive? You know what I mean, and just express, because you have one moment. So for even to acknowledge that moment is everything, because that's the point. Same thing with Paradise. You can't go there and bullshit. You can't bullshit. And the scariest thing is that, as every artist, I can speak for everyone in general, you love something so much, you start getting nervous, you get antsy, you get overthinking, you become overthinker, and then you might regret not expressing a certain emotion, you know. So for you to say, like, even you expressing that, just turn up, like, that's where I stand with my art, for sure, because it's just life is short and time goes, and I want to leave everything on the table. So in that moment, I'm like, bro, everybody's here. They're here for us. If they hating, they here, whatever. Who cares? Like, we have people in this room. There was at least probably like almost 100 people in that room. You know what I mean? And on a short notice at that. So it was just cool to see that, and then being like, all right, bro, like, we're gonna tee it up. And then when we have, you know, future shows like Boston Calling, stuff like that, it'll be the same thing. You know, after party, like, that's the focus. Is like, you leave an impact, you leave a mark. Paradise was like that. We had the moment, and then everyone's at the after party, and everyone's vibing, talking how great it was, and then you just talk about life shit. You know,
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it's I definitely feel that, though, that you leave everything on the table, like, no matter what.
You feel it,
and
you feel it,
and,
like,
and your bars too. I'm just like listening, and I'm like, dude, I wit, cause for me, like, you know, I do this shit because this is the way that I can express myself the best way possible.
This is our outlet.
This is for me, is like, I when I want to say something, I have to put my words in a way that I could actually tell this person that's listening to me right now, right? I wish I could rap, because I feel like I got shit to say, but I just don't know how to put it. And I'm telling you, when I listen to your music, I'm like, bro, like, this dude is doing what I do, but in the harmony that makes you want to, like, fucking either jump around or fucking just, like, sit there and just, like, enjoy the music, right? And I'm telling you, that Project Speed, that shit was different, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was saying this on the Urban Project too. It literally was just the year culminated of records that I was trying to make for that album, and just through time, through studying, and then just through life experiences, I moved past that sound mentally. So then I'm like, all right, let me just put this together and just throw it out.
So
there.
you're done with that kind of era, the speed era?
I wouldn't say yet. I'll say there's my focus this year is to all my projects are kind of half thoughts, like, they're not fully completed, which, and that's where I think it's something I have. That's something on me I had to be honest with. Was more production outside of just, you know, we need music videos, you need merchandise, and future some other creative ideas too. I won't say, but because I just got to do it. You know what I mean? I have to look into it. I do research to express myself, because Barriers 9-4. I'll Be Back, mainly Barriers and 9-4 though, because I'll Be Back was just kind of like it's its own thing, but Barriers and 9-4 and Speed were all it's all things I'm still going through today. You know what I mean? So I'm just aware of it. So I'm aware of my trust issues, and that's like, okay, you make a trust, but it's something that it didn't improve either. Like, it didn't really get any better, and that's something I'm like, that's on me to be able to work on. You know, it could be the Numb. You know how I felt, and that concept of Numb came from just a scenario with an A&R, and the A&R was just like, you ain't shit. You know, that's how I felt in that moment. Comes just like, bro, we're talking about trying to build something musically, and you're saying you're being more so negative. It was more rocks thrown than constructive criticism. And I'm just like, bro, where your album at? Like, you talking like that, you rapping, you know what I mean? You're not out here, you're not experiencing this, you're not writing till late nights and early mornings, you're not doing that. So who are you to disrespect it? And that's where Numb came from, to just acknowledging, like, damn, this thing that I'm interested in and my passion has geared towards the industry is cold. So it's other things like that, and it's even worse now. Like, my realization of that, the more we've grown, because the more you see. So I seen a lot of bullshit, and you just become numb to it, because then you're just like, damn, this is the nature of the beast of the game. So these are all things, like, those albums in the end, those are thoughts that I still fight with to this day, because it's just my human anatomy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying something just for swag at the most part. You know? They controlling the hype. You know what I mean? Phone usage, like stuff like that. My phone usage. what I provide my time and energy to on the internet, because that it's digital. The world's digital more than ever, and it's only gonna get more dystopian. You know what I mean? As I talk to my peers, that
especially with AR, VR,
bro,
all that
AR,
shit that's coming
even
NFT,
more. NFT. Like to me personally, I get it. I get the concept of the NFTs. I get the concept of cryptocurrency. I that's cool. You know what I mean? We needed something that for a decentralized area, we need to give some value to it. You know, just like how America was. Okay, we need $1. There's American dollar, then boom, right? So that's, and this is a newer space that, I mean, my child's gonna have to grow up into.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years from now.
That's the scary shit.
Exactly, and that's gonna be their norm. You know, the norm for me was growing up seeing my cousins buy CDs from stores because they had to put in a CD player, like
or like PlayStation.
A PlayStation, yeah. You know what I mean? So, and the norm for them now, I remember when you could buy games. When you started buying games online, it threw me off. I'm like, damn, you don't go to GameStop no more.
Yeah, I remember that was like, that's one of like the most vivid memories I have, like chilling with my dad, because it was literally like it, so my dad, like he did like construction and stuff, and he also like he became like he worked in hotels and shit. So then on Saturdays it was his day off, but he would like do side jobs, like do like floors and shit for people. So I would go with him.
Your dad's a worker, dog.
Yeah,
Work hard,
he works hard. And he would go Saturdays, and I would clean, like I was like his cleanup dude, right? And then my reward would be like, we're waiting in that line at GameStop, and it would be like the greatest shit ever. So then when my brother's like telling me like, yo bro, can I use your debit card to buy this Fortnite thing? Yeah. And it's not, it don't feel the same no more. He's getting it like instantly. Where like, yo, it was like that like itch. Oh man, I'm in the back of the line.
And there's a rush, because there's certain games, what I take inspiration from, for example, God of War. The creators of that, right? And the creators of that, I watched a documentary on YouTube during the beginning of COVID, and it was the creator. He was amazing. He was amazing in the concept that he had for his team, because they're not with the norm of where the games are going. So like you said, Fortnite and those guys, they're in here, they're expanding the game every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas God of War saying, we coming with you with what we got.
They're trying to sell you the game every day.
Bro, they're trying, literally Fortnite it's ever changing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And in Call of Duty, it's ever changing now. So whereas, you know, God of Wars, where we're talking about classics. You know what I mean? Like
that is a classic.
Like that's an instant classic. All of them too. All of them. Even the PSP one.
Classic.
Even the PSP one.
Oh yeah, all them, bro. And the guy was just focusing on, at the end of the day, telling story. You're trying to tell a story. You're trying to tell, and that's why it's a damn near movie in the last God of War. I'm like, shit. Like, I gotta play that game again soon, because I haven't played games in a minute. But that was one of the few games I was just like, that and Last of Us.
Last of Us is amazing.
Right? It's like, I used to like, those are the games where I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, you gotta, if you find collectibles, you gotta find it in the shit. And when I take that, I'm like, okay, I want my projects to be that. That's where the majority of these, you know, I see you have Damn, like Kendrick, stuff like that. That's where they come from. Like, there's Easter eggs in it that you just have to listen to, you know, and you might get it today, you might get it 3 years from now, you might get it when you have a child, shit like that.
The bar that I texted you, because I was like, yo, that.
What was it again? What was it?
It was the song. It's from Jump. Real quick, bro. Ricky, bro. You did your fucking shit on that song,
bro. Real quick. Shout out to Rick. Every time I see Ricky, I always go, bro, you're fucking amazing. Cause like, bro, those beats, Ricky, and
he's different. Bro.
He's different.
You just told me he's younger than me, and I'm just like, what am I?
Yeah, that shit was a head scratcher too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the most he's the same age.
Yo, like I'm just like, okay, I'm doing something wrong, but either way, because I'm listening that song literally. You know, for me when I first spin a project, I just kind of listen to the beats just to get the vibe, right? And that was the one that stuck with me, because that goes the that shit's crazy, right? So then I have that song on repeat, and then I'm in the gym. I think I'm like doing a deadlift or some shit like that. I was doing something for my back. I'm going like this, right?
You do that shit against the wall or what?
And I hear in my ears, and it's like, I found my answers being lonely at bars, he says.
And the stars on the roof.
Yeah.
There's a star in this car.
Bars,
bro. Yeah.
Yo, and I'm like, I'm over here, I'm at the gym, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, like for me,
find my answers in solitude.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's the answer. Okay. Find my answers in solitude.
All right. So being like by yourself.
That's all I'm gonna give you. That's all I'm gonna give you.
But at the bar?
That's all I'm gonna give you.
What?
Find my answers in solitude. You know what I mean? Okay. That's it.
Because I feel that, you know, because I'm telling you, the reason that shit came out to me was because I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm always trying to find my answers, right? And me too. I feel like that's why I fuck with your music so much, and why for me, like, when something hits me, I kind of like it kind of becomes like my fuel. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think you dropped the project in December, and it's like right at the end of the semester for me. So I literally had that shit on repeat every day because, like you said, you're trying to find your answers throughout the project, and I'm like, bro, that's motivating me to continue to do what the hell I'm doing on a daily basis, right? So I'm listening to this shit every day, and I'm like trying, and I'm like, find your answers at bars. I'm like, bro, how do you find your answer at a bar? Like, that's like such an opposite place where people usually people find their answers at church shit. People find their answers reading books, but at a bar, that's what I was just like. What?
And trust me, there's been times. Shout out my man Bryson. You know, he kind of gave me the game because he's from Boston, and Boston bar culture is very popular. So like, he just goes there. That's nothing to him. He goes there weekly. For me, I didn't. At the time of when I wrote that bar, I was going frequently. And sometimes I'll just go there and just have a book, or go there and just watch whatever baseball and just vibe and just observe and just observe and just in the end, it's just a nice little similar to a library. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just another aspect to it, and the culture sadly makes it seem like it's just you gotta go there, get messed up, and, it just or have to get bitches, exactly, and it don't gotta be the case every time. Like I've found concepts. I got concepts out of bar conversations that I had with my boy for albums and songs and everything, and that's the point. It's just to have conversations. So. And hopefully, I'm planning to have more of those as just the older I get, because it's a when I see it, Noble, I'll think about maybe one day making a bar myself with its own aesthetic and everything. But I would just we would go approach it differently. Of course, I got you. I appreciate it. I'll just do it differently, and I think it's really a dope safe haven. If used wisely, of course, some people abuse.
They lose themselves in that shit. You could, because that's what I'm saying. I've seen so many people lose themselves, and you're saying you're finding yourself.
And that's not the flip of it too.
Yeah, it's kind of like an oxymoron. Yeah. That's what hit me, and I was like, bro, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's the point. There's a lot of boys. A lot of my bars will say it's that. It'll be like that. Like I love being like that, because that's just a lot of artists were like that when I was growing up.
That's artistry right there too. It's like turning something that you wouldn't expect to be something into something new.
Yeah. So I'll say, like, I tell Jason this, like, what I think, what makes music dope, like what I think when I be like, yo, Kendrick is dope, because every time I listen to him, I learn something new, or like I didn't catch this the first time. That's how I feel like with your music. I listen to it the first time, I'm like, oh, this shit's crazy. Listen to it the second time, I'm like, oh man. I listen to it the third time, I'm just like this. Holy shit. I'm like, oh man, this shit's fucking going. You know what I mean? This dude put like so much like thinking and so much just over, like, you know what I mean? You
appreciate that.
So much, you could tell, like, just so much writing. So I just kind of want to know, like, as a fan, like, yo, what's your writing process like, in terms of like, like, are you kind of like Jay-Z in it, or you kind of just have a concept in your head and you just hop in the booth?
It changes. When I was earlier stages, like Swish 9-4, I wrote every word. Okay. Every word, every article, noun, verb. So it was to the T.
So it was way more thought out.
It was. I think I wouldn't even say way more thought out. I think my most thought out project was Barriers. Okay. But 9-4 and Swish and I'll Be Back was just no. Let me put it like this. I would say Swish and 9-4. It's literally every word was on the paper. So and then I'll just rap it. You know what I mean? And then.
So you had a flow in your head?
That too. So because naturally I freestyle, but I'll write it down and then make it make sense. So then, but it just that was the evolution of just my writing process. Because at Swish, it was just write it down and just rap it. Because I found the freedom in it. So I wasn't critiquing shit. I was like, if I rapped it like that, I recorded it. I didn't care. And then the more time I spent in the studio, the more etiquette you get of understanding as an artist, you know what I mean? From VB, from a Latrell, James, like, who was recording us, giving us ones and twos, you know what I mean? And give you a little tip here, tip there. So then you're like, oh, okay. And then it piques your curiosity to like start looking at other things. And then 9-4, I just got a little better at it, you know what I mean? But it was still kind of the same concept writing wise. And then I'll Be Back. I think that's when I probably did a billion demos. Like I got this under control. I somewhat started touching the surface of understanding what an artist is. So I was just making records. You know what I mean? And that was my attempt at making records and getting better at it. And Barriers is when I think the culmination came to, everything we went through. We opened that House of Blues, did Red Bull shows. We have connections slowly coming from the industry and respect. So locally and stuff like that. So then you got, I feel myself a little bit more understanding, like, okay, I'm an artist, like I'm getting there. And we had experiences with BMA, stuff like that. So we're just like, okay, barriers was that, barriers to this day was just like, I'm like, bro, I would go to any record label and be like, what you got for us? And I'm just like, here's you play barriers. I'm like, if you don't want to sign me after that or don't want to deal with me after that, that's on you.
That's just a beautiful project, bro.
Bro, it's just that's gonna be an inspiration to just my albums. So if you think,
is that one that you have in your rotation that you listen to yourself?
Do artists listen to their own music like casually? Like, do you go back to 9-4? I've always wondered that because I go back and listen to podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's from time to time. Last year, I could say I listened to a lot for just critiquing purposes because it's like
where you can get better.
Yeah, where I can get better because we were working on Bad for Press and like Black Wall Street. So you're just like, okay, how can I evolve? But I've been getting better at not listening to it too much because I know it. I know every second, every moment, everything.
I mean, you went through it.
Yeah, I went through it. And I think I could say barriers is, to me, the one I go back to the most, just because like I made it with so much care. So it's just like it was made to,
like a baby.
That in this moment, that was probably like the first one I could say it was like a baby. Like 9-4 felt like a scar. You know what I mean? So it's just like Switch was just kind of like, I don't really care for it. Like you talk about Switch is cool. It's like it's fun. It's like my innocence.
But so, it's the vibe.
Yeah, it's cool. It's great to know where it goes.
And especially in the time of your life, it probably it represents probably perfectly what's going on in your life.
So I just hear innocence. You know what I mean? That's the reason why like I'll be back. I say lost innocence because I'm just like I wish I could take what I had, then, but I can't. So it's just it's things like so because you just become. It became from joy to like you want to kill niggas, you know what I mean? So like that's at the time of Switch, I'm
that
like,
shit is crazy,
bro. Everybody was so like, hey, everyone like, hey, like I'm Meech, it's VV, right? Everyone's canoodling with each other, y'all cool, like, hey, what's up, man? And then like we got into the industry, people started saying our music was better, this and the third. You get an itch to want to just now like be as best as you can,
kill the fucking
so that
game.
you want to kill it, but then it's a pro and con because then you just miss the love. Of why you did it in the first place, So it's stuff like that. As I like navigate, get older. That's why barriers to me, it disregards anything. It's about me. You know what I mean? It's about me and my search of understanding why I'm on this earth. You know what I mean?
Even the title holds the weight.
Yeah,
the barriers to knowing,
and that's in general. Like we have so many barriers, bro, and that's why. And that topic, and those topics, like it laid the groundwork for. Just what I'll continue to do until I solve it, because like Elon said something that stuck with me, which was pretty much just like education. You know what I mean? Education is the top thing. You need knowledge, you know what I mean, to understand the landscape of why you'll never understand everything. You know what I mean? That's the point, because you'll never.
You actually have a bar that I want to bring up in the song "Profit" from Switch, and you say. You say self-education is key. Yeah, it's a step to success. So going. That's like,
and it's crazy. At the time, that was just. It's funny as you say it. I remember it, but I guess now it's just subconsciously in me. Yeah, because I don't remember. I like before you said that bar. I didn't remember that. Yeah, when you said it, I was like, it just came out. Yeah, but yeah, that's the point. And that's when I realized that was 2017. So I recently graduated, was working, so I like started peeping, very, very significantly. Why.
I agree with that shit. That's like why. Literally, I feel like that bar right there is why I do everything I do in my life. You know what I mean? Like I legitimately wake up first thing in the morning. I do is I write. I've been trying, especially this year. I've been writing 10 minutes just to like. Cause I want to get the mind going, right? One, it gets the mind going right in the morning, and it like refocuses me. Cause when you're writing, you can't think about more than one thing than what you're writing on the piece of paper. Yeah. So it like focuses my mind. And then 3 is kind of like a documenting what's going on to myself on a daily basis. Yeah. I'm thinking about reading back everything I've written in like December, so that I can just see what kind of mindsets that I've gone through through this, right? And then right after I do that, I open a book. That's right after that. I open. Right now, I've been reading The Intelligent Investor, and I've been reading, and I just finished a marketing book. I got another marketing book that I just got, and I think I finished like 4 so far this year, right? Yeah. I'm just trying to do that because I realized like I actually was saying this to Vic. We were having a conversation about, you know, like inequalities, right? You know, there's tons of inequalities in this world. Literally, barriers to knowing. Like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Oh, I was going in.
Barriers to knowing is, and I realized, like, when I went to college, right? I graduated, right? So when I went to college and I got there, I just realized I'm the only Hispanic in the room. That was number one. I'm just like, I gotta represent for myself, right? And then I'm having conversations with all these people in my classes, and they're telling me like, oh yeah, I took a biochem class and I learned this in high school. I took calculus here, organic chemistry here, and or I did my business class this, and literally our school didn't offer anything,
right?
Like, none of that, bro. Literally, I'm over here, and I was telling Vic, if I wasn't so good at math, I would. Because I did chemical engineering, so that shit was all calculus.
That's dangerous, yeah.
Differential equations, like that's like all I do on a daily basis, bro. Right? So I'm like, if I wasn't so like, for some reason I've been naturally good at math my whole life. If I wasn't like that, I don't think I would have gotten to the end.
Right.
And it's because I literally see people from my same city and they struggle with the most simple stuff. I'm just like, it's because there's a gap right there from education wise, and I'm like when I realized that there's that gap, I felt like I have to fucking fill that shit in myself, which is why self-education is key. Like if I don't teach myself how to you know, take care of my finances, how to invest into shit, if I don't teach myself how the mind works in psychology and shit like that,
and how to like you know what I mean, like, so I read this book called The Cabellion, and it talks about like polarity. It talks about how, like, you know, hate and love are on the same spectrum of on the line. Yeah. So like, if you could learn how to flip it, like you had a bad day, you learn how to flip it, be like, yo, like tomorrow's gonna be better, or like, you know, today wasn't that bad, or whatever. You know what I mean? Then you know, it betters you as a person, because you're more, because you're not down. You know, you're not closing yourself in.
But you have to learn how to do that. You know what I mean? If you don't know that, you go through your life not knowing any of that stuff. So literally, I'm telling you, that's what I do. After I read, then I either do something for this podcast, or then I do my homework or something like that. Because I'm doing my master's right now, so I'm still in school.
Right.
So I'm literally that is my life. Exactly, that bar is trying to fill in that gap by teaching myself. So, bro, right. I love that bar.
I appreciate it, bro. It's progress. It takes time. I mean, and I think the biggest thing is knowing that a majority of the world is not doing that. So knowing that it's a minority group out there of people that's really, but they're there, and I mean, the world's so big, so it's gonna be millions. The minority is gonna be millions of people that are like you. So it's just, and we've seen it with other artists that also search and seek a lot for, you know, knowledge and wisdom from other people in the world, because that's the biggest thing to all this. Even like you said, like getting your degrees and going to school and getting that education. There's already something systemically put in place from, you know, the educational system.
I actually,
you know, so
when I graduated, I literally didn't give a fuck. Because I know,
that's crazy.
I know, I got to see the game. Like, this is literally, it's a game. Like it's you can't explain it any other way than a game. And I saw the game. Like, I'm just sitting here in the middle, and I see the people that I grew up with, and I see the people that I'm now in school with, and I saw the difference, and I'm just like, bro, this degree means nothing more than just a representation of I can do more than this. And you people on this side think that we're low and below on this side, but we're not. I'm representing them for myself, bro, and I have to. You know, I bring that energy.
I was telling this dude that it's crazy to say that. So like, I came to his graduation party, right, and he was just like, he said a speech or whatever, like, thank you in front of everybody, and then he comes up to me, whispers, I don't even care about this shit. And I was just like,
because it seems like the biggest thing to my family. So they're like, yo, you did it, you know, you accomplished everything, and I'm like, all I accomplished was realizing that there's so much more work to be done.
So I was
a lot. Trust me, And
I was telling him, like, yo, like, I tried college, you know, and I know so many people that tried college and just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, and I was like, bro, and he's in like chemical engineering, which is like statistically like super duper hard, right?
Half the people drop out.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. Half like 50% dropout rate. That's insane.
That doesn't even include race. That includes straight up people that apply. Half of them drop out.
Yo, so then I'm looking at this dude when he finally has it. You know what I mean? Because, bro, I seen it. You know what I mean? We're together all the time. I seen the stress. I seen because, bro, this dude doing the fucking masters, doing the school stuff, doing the podcast stuff, talking to me, like, at the same time, bro, listening to, like, let's say we're listening to your album at the same time while he's editing, the same time while the other screen is on his homework, and I'm just looking at this dude like, whoa. And then he turns around and has the audacity to be like, I'm not doing enough. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's a drug, man. You never. It is. You'll never fully. It's no such thing, especially in an ever changing world like today with technology. Yeah. Everything varies in months now in comparison to like years. You know what I mean? It took years to transition from 360 to Xbox One. You know, it took years, but now I wouldn't be surprised if it took like 2 years or a year to get a new one. You know what I mean? And you see it with the social media apps. It's ever changing. So it's always like that because you have to be as so much of a forward thinker. You have to be a really good guesser in this stuff. So when it comes to musically and when it comes to how you express yourself, you gotta be 10 steps ahead regardless of the reaction it gets. Because as the time goes by and you realize, okay, the podcast format might have just changed because now they're doing this a little bit more and this a little bit more, stuff like that. So it's tough, and that's, if you feel like that, you know, you're not doing enough, that there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? And people are hard on themselves for sure. I could be a big critic on that, but I know from my peers and people that's giving words, just like, you know, appreciate, be as present as possible. You know what I mean? Understand how far you've came, how many interviews you've done, et cetera, et cetera. I
got a question.
That's actually like the energy from the text, because I started asking you what kind of books you read, because I'm telling you, listening to your music, I'm just like, dude, this dude's got to be well studied.
You got to be reading.
He's got to be.
I got to be kicked up even more, because if I don't, you'll know I'm not. And I've seen that with my favorite artists.
And I've said that before. I said if we're talking to a brand, and I said, yo, if you throw a shirt out and you don't put like the all effort in, and you're not putting your full out creativity, people are gonna smell that bullshit. And that's what you're saying. Like it's like people are gonna know that you're not doing it at your fullest.
We're talking about being great, you know. There's a lot of good shirts, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're talking about levels. So, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you could bring something that's original through your studies, you know, whether that comes from a stock investing book, whether it comes from a fashion designer, a basketball player book, autobiography. Nonetheless, you're searching, and then like you'll get a lot of, like, it's just crazy how everyone's the human mind is all in the same field, you know, men or women, regardless. We're all thinkers. We're all feeling stuff. We all go through things. So,
and I feel like some people just don't want to tap into that because it's not easy to start thinking like crazy. You know what I mean?
There's distractions. You know, like I was saying that tweet the other day. You know, like I've chose to think deeply in a world full of distractions. So it's just like, and knowing that it's pain.
And not even distractions. I feel like some people like just choose not to like.
I don't even think it's choice. I think it's being misled.
Like
you know what I mean?
Like
it's a lot of things.
Like yesterday, for example, right? I got a roommate. My roommate, like, he was watching Superbad, and then I was like, yo, you look like Jonah Hill. I just threw him like the joke, right? and then I was like, yo, actually, Jonah is like a beast. He's like truly, he's like an actor's actor. He's like truly dedicated to.
He's a director too, right?
Yeah. He's like a beast, right? He's like a writer. He's like truly into the game. And then he was like, bro, I don't care about your trivia. And I was like, all right, man. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, yo, like people are not willing to just like open their mind and be like, oh, or not. It doesn't. You don't have to think it's cool. Just to think like,
it's not even opening your mind. I think it's like looking in the mirror, bro. Because it's you. What is you. So you just gotta realize that. Like, Jonah Hill is you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
I am you. I am Meech. I am anybody in this world, and we're all just, you know, on this journey. And if you just ignore that, then,
because like I see someone like a Jonah Hill, someone like a Meech Bold, right? Someone like a Jason, right? Where like, yo, because I feel like in my life, right, I'm searching for the greater things. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. That's literally my goal. I'm trying to be the greatest human being ever. You know what I mean? And I tell them that, like, yo, I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm trying for sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like a thing where, like, I see people like you, Jason, working their asses off, Jonah Hill, whoever the fuck it is, and I'm just like, yo, I've been saying this like week in and week out. It's like, it shows me that it can be attainable. Shows me that it can be done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're proving like that you could kill the game and truly, like. Because I'm telling you, when I saw you perform, right? You isolated yourself at Paradise Rock Club. I felt every word you were saying,
right?
And that's such a powerful thing, because you are, that came from you, and you gave me an emotion, and I'm sure everyone in that room was like, oh man, because I remember they were like, yo, who's a better rapper? And I heard dudes in the back,
I remember that,
Meechy. They were like,
it was for that song,
Foxy Brown, right?
Foxy Brown,
yeah. And you guys like stood in the middle.
I heard that whole shit. Everybody freestyled for that.
Yeah, we never do. So when you said what did you say earlier about writing process? Do we Jay-Z it? We don't.
Yeah.
We know 99% of us don't. We usually write everything.
Oh, but that was a freestyle.
That was freestyle.
That and all of them shits are bars.
Yeah, and like I think like that's what I'm saying. I felt like you're like a superstar because you're doing at the top of the game. Because like, bro, that's like the greatest thing about music is that you feel some type of way.
Right,
like you're like, oh man, like you want to like. Yo, like it gets you out of your seat or whatever.
Right.
Literally, the power to like of your words and with the like melody is like gets me want to like either thinking or whatever the fuck it is. And I think that's what makes it masterful. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's attainable because I want to do this podcast shit the top level, bro, top tier level.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, Meech can make me feel some type of way with his craft. I can make people feel some type of way with my craft. Right. You know what I mean? Trying to bring the greatest people we think that would, you know what I mean, suit, help us learn and to just like
help the people
have
learn.
A great conversation, right? Where me and Jason learn, but like people that are watching, right, just learn like how to like to inspire them to do something. You know what I mean? To open their mind. Where like something like a conversation like, yo, Jonah Hill's like actor. Someone would be like, oh man, let me at least look that up, or let me like you know, let me see.
What can I learn from him?
What can I learn from that to be like a better me? Yeah,
because there is, you'll find it, and that's what I'm saying. He said, I was like, yo, so what books are you reading? Like this and that. He's like, I don't even really think about what I'm doing. I just let it be, and then whatever comes to me is gonna come to me. And that shit was deep.
Yeah, it's tough because you want to. I always would say, if you know, you try and gain some knowledge, the biggest thing is trying to know as much as you can. Yeah. So like as you said, like it might be from investing to gardening to basketball.
I actually have a gardening book too.
Yeah, it's fire. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You gotta be curious because like
that was one of the funniest things I seen on that drawer, bro. I was like on the bureau. I was like, yo, I'm looking at the book, and then I'm like, why do you have this? And he was just like, I bought it for my girl because I thought she'd like it, but then I kept it for myself. Right. I was just like,
fire.
What a guy.
That's what I'm saying. And it's stuff like that. Like curiosity will lead you, you know, to some things 10 years from now that you might never open that book for the next 5 years, but then the day you do, it's gonna make sense. So it's all those things. That's why I'm like, bro, the game of when you hear a billionaire like, you guys need to read 50 books a year, this and that. I'm like, bro, you need to read a lot.
That's my goal.
You just gotta read.
My goal is to read 52 in a year.
Yeah, I remember he was telling me you guys had goals and stuff, and I was just like, for me specifically, I was just numbers are scary. Like numbers are a scary thing. I remember even when I had an idea like Think and Go Rich was like, you need to know what number you want for money and
I don't do that.
I was doing that, and I used to do that, and when I did it, and I realized like it didn't like to subjugate myself to a number was it's so demeaning, you know what I mean? So when it came that's where I stand, but it gets worse. Like trust me, the more you understand, the more you seek and the more conversations y'all have, like the goal thing 3 years from now, I promise you won't even have, because it's just you talk to people, you meet people. A seed might have been planted just now, like with me even saying this. You might still have the 52 goal, 50 this whole year. You know, 2-3 years from now, you'll go through something and you'll realize what I'm saying. Because it's just like, it's you need to just, life is just fast. That's the main reason of like the speed thing. Like that's where I'm at, because it just feels fast. Time feels fast. I see, you know, my godson get older all the time.
That is a weird feeling.
I'm like, bro, I was just your godson. I just named you your godson like 2 months ago. You already like 8 months. Like, what's going on? You know, so it's little things like that.
I resonate with that story. I have a godson too, and he was born in the pandemic 2020, and so like now, you know, we're 2022, and it's like, I seen him the other day, and he got like the curls flowing, and he's like, yo, he got teeth, and he's walking around in his diaper, and I'm just like, yo, once this dude starts talking, I might have to like leave the room for a second, because it's like, yo, it's like a mind fuck. Bro.
Yeah, bro. So you'll peep, and it's dope, because the thing is, where y'all were at, I was right there. You know what I mean? Like when I was making Swish, that's where I was at. I was like, I'm reading 30 books, and it's good because once you start the you know, start going, you'll start catching a flow and understanding just more of how to like handle everything. And it's the same thing like if you're just trying, you know, you're trying to talk to a shorty, you're not gonna learn if you're just not talking to women. You know what I mean? If you're trying to rap better, you're not gonna learn if you don't get demos done, you know, stuff like that. It's just, it is what it is.
I feel like the goals is just so like, because if I set the goal and I achieve it, that means I could do it again, easy money, without even thinking about it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I'm at that spot right now, because I tried to do it last year and I failed. So I'm like, all right, I need to succeed in this just so I know that I've done it. So that for the future, I don't have to worry about it like that.
Yeah, you give energy to certain things, bro. It brings to life, which is dope. And then once you start there, same thing when it was like when I was younger. I was like, okay, I'm gonna run 3-4 miles a day, and then I just did it. You know what I mean? And I could tell you, like, as of today, for example, I haven't done that at a high level, but I'm just like, I did. You know, so I know I could do it again. So like tap into it and just do it again because you did it. And then you start, even in the moment when you're running, I remember just where I was running at, you know, how the trees looked, how the road looked. Like, just, it's a memory, you know, and it's muscle memory too, right? Extremely. So like even right now, like I haven't made any new music in like 3-4 weeks. But it's just because I've been studying. I've just been sitting back and just really observing. Because I don't want to speak the same language I did in speed. So, you know what I mean? So it's just that's
my ideology with reading the 52 books. I feel like I say a lot of the same things. So my idea was like, if I read a book a week, right? That's a book
exactly.
You got different mindsets.
I got different perspectives every week on top of the stuff I had before.
Right.
So then, like, for example, because the Cabellion is the recent book I read. So that polarity thing would have never happened if I didn't read that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's my thinking. Is like I'm reading these books for this podcast to be able to talk to you and have opinions that are like valid opinions.
That's dope.
You know what
that's
I mean?
Dope. Yeah.
That are not like, yo, man, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Again, I think it's that same difference between good and great. You know what I mean? We have to be, you know, at top level thinkers to even be able to, you know, have the people that we come on to be able to think deep with us. You know what I mean? And I mean, we don't even have to do that for you because you already do that shit on your own. Dog. So I got a fire question that I think is a fire question, right? Where do you think you would be if you weren't with VB? Like if you never joined VB, you were just you know just Meech your whole life. Where do you think you would be?
I know exactly. I would probably at this point be have a crib with my shorty at the time. I'll still be with her 110%, and then probably looking towards having a kid soon. You know what I mean? Working a job. Like I grew up in a traditional home. Luckily, like initially it wasn't like that because it was tough. It was just tough and you know, my parents are immigrants, so. But luckily they just made me believe that everything was fine. And it's crazy because
parents have that power.
It's amazing, and it's a traditional home. You know. Mom and dad together for a long time, stuff like that.
I got a story, bro. So my mom did very well. Like she takes pride in like, you know, sometimes we didn't have lights and shit, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Sometimes we didn't have heat. But like she takes great pride that we never had empty stomachs, right? So then one day I was talking to her like recently and I was telling her like, yo, Ma, I was like, why don't you make the Wonder Bread with the sauce and the cheese on it? You put it in the oven. Like those were like the greatest pizzas ever. And she starts laughing and she's like, you really like those that much? And I'm like, Ma, those shits were like the greatest. Those shits were better than pizza. She was telling me like, yo, the reason why I started doing that is because one day you were a little kid, you were like 4 or 5, and you were like, "Ma, I want pizza," but she couldn't afford to get the pizza, so she invented something. I'm like, "Holy!" You know what I mean? I was like, "Fuck, bro."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like 20 something years later, I was like, "Yo," I looked at my mom and I almost dropped a tear because I was like, "Wow, you made that such a special moment."
Yeah.
I was putting the sauce with her, putting the cheese, and like that moment was like she made it all feel fine. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, I'm so grateful for this lady. Like, this lady right here is my all and everything. You know what I mean?
And that's our relationship with our parents is everything. So, and that's why the older I got, the more I understood the connection with, you know, my father and my mom. Just understanding a lot of people in their 20s don't give their parents enough current credit. You know what I mean? They could give them credit for like, oh yeah, they were back then, this and third, but you know, I owe my mom a call once a day. Same thing with my father, but I know how my father is, so I don't bother him every day. So
I resonate with that too.
So,
yeah.
It's stuff like that. As I got older, I appreciated more because of just my own life and things I was going through. But that's why I value it very high. So that's why for me, off that question alone, that's why I'm like, bro, I would. God, what you just said, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? To be here and explain that story to me. Like your mom wasn't doing that for you to tell me the story. It was just what it was. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be with everything, with the art, with this podcast. Like that should be the point, but we don't see that too much now. So you see people compromise a lot to what's working now. So let's do this, right? Let's do that. It's like, no, if you want to do what you ever want to do, just, you know, make it original and keep it at that. Yeah. Yeah, man.
You said compromise, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of compromising. Just know this is a good conversation. I'll stretch my time. So don't even look at the time. Don't worry right now.
Because I actually want to talk about that track in Speed, because that was the one that hit me. A compromised bachelor.
Oh, compromised bachelor. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the interlude, bro.
That interlude, there's a lot of amazing interludes in music. But that one, I'd put it in the top 3, bro. And that's not, I'm not just saying that because you're here and you know what I mean? I'm trying. I mean that. That shit's crazy, bro.
That shit is just deep. So I'm telling you, I'm listening to this shit and I hear the beat and I'm like, I'm already feeling the beat, right? I'm like, I'm driving on my way to school in this. I'm telling you, like, you know how you remember that basketball shit like it was yesterday? This is how I remember, because it hit me deep. I'm just like, so I'm in the car. I'm like, oh, this is a fire beat. And again, I don't rap, but I try to because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yo, he's terrible. like the beat is going and he says he does it for the beat, but he's off beat. Like it's insane, bro.
No, but the beat pull, like, you know, it's like how people say that the beat pulls the words out of you.
Yeah.
Like, and the beat
don't pull no words, man.
The beat started telling me, I was just like, yo, these people, they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, yo, these people, they think that they're doing something right, but they don't know what's actually going on underline. And then you say that while I'm fucking freestyling, and I'm just like, dude, like, yo, I'm just like, I literally
that's euphoric. That's a euphoric.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I'm legitimately, I was just.
You thought you were high, bro.
I was like, I feel like seen in this moment. You know what I mean? I was like,
that's what it's about. Yeah, bro.
So I just wanted to talk about that and like everything you say in that song. Like obviously you're speaking and it's words that you're speaking and it's deep words. And like when you come on, you talk about. I think you first trying to talk about I like, it's hard because obviously it's artistic, so it's like a poem. It's not directly telling you.
We can say spoken word.
Spoken word, yeah.
Give it a title.
Yeah. So
in the beginning,
you're speaking and you're talking about, like, you know, looking at a girl through a screen or something like that, and then you start talking about all this shit. Like, I actually have it written down. Cause I legitimately, I literally was like, dude, this is. I didn't
even write the lyrics down.
This is so deep that
You went off the cuff for that part?
What he's explaining in the beginning, I wrote that, and then I ran off the cuffs. So like that was for that one specifically. I didn't want to. Once I started writing, I started feeling something in the booth, and then I just ran with it. You know what I mean?
Like, so you just started speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, that's gotta be inside of you already before you even start talking.
For the most part, yeah.
That shit's already brewing in there. So I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, I literally wrote down everything.
That's crazy. Damn.
I was like, yo, I need to study this shit.
Yeah.
I need to study this shit.
No, that's the work. I appreciate it.
Yo, so then this is a bar, right? He said, this is just the compromise I've been I don't even know how to say that. Concubine too.
Yeah.
So Can you tell me the definition? I had to look it up, the word.
Yeah, concubine just pretty much just like, you're just kind of, if we put it in like layman's terms, you're just in a box.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. Great word. You just can't move. You're in a box. You're restricted.
Every episode from now on, I'm gonna say concubine.
Yo, look. So
and I'm gonna look at the camera. And this is just the
so that's why when you read a lot, I just words pop out. Whereas like, I'm a very big. I don't know which artist did it, but they're really good. That's just great writers. Great writers. They'll, instead of saying, that's a compromise that I'm stuck in a circle in a box with, and it's just like, that don't sound cool. The concubine.
And he even laughed after he said it. Like if he knew, he just said some crazy shit, bro.
Because he did. He fucking did.
You gotta give it some personality.
Yeah. So so you know, I'm listening to this. I'm just like, so before he goes like this. He goes, I find myself on the path. This journey. These actions, they come from lust. I find joy in, and this is the compromise I've been concubine to. Bro, and then he laughs. I'm just like, yo, cause I feel that, you know, I feel like I want to be pure, you know, I want everything that I do and every move that I make to be coming from a place of like genuine good energy. You know what I mean?
Pureness.
But that negative energy sometimes controls me without even me trying to like do it. Like, I'll just catch myself doing some shit that I'm just like, I reflect back. I'm like, why the fuck did I just do that?
Yeah. And so it's gonna only keep happening.
Yeah.
You know? And the more aware you get, the more hard on yourself. At least I got. With
no,
me.
I agree. I agree.
The more aware you're like, now that you see it, it's just like, okay, you're gonna try to not do it, and then when you do it,
you get pissed.
You
more.
get pissed. Yeah, it's just
literally. Oh my god.
But that's what happens when it, like, shout out my man Food Man, and he's just like, that's a huge guider of mine, and he's just, yeah, bro, you know, you just gotta let things happen. It's human. You're human, bro. You know, that's how it happens.
So then he says, hold on, I'm trying to find where he says empty bottles, empty conversations.
Yes.
I'm trying to find that.
Empty bottle. I forgot what he said.
Empty bottles. Yeah, I can't think of the thing off the top of my head either.
He goes, I know I have it here somewhere.
I was just saying.
Yo, I'm just saying, you got too much shit. Look, another
like
shit.
a 3-minute long talk.
There's another part right here where that shit hit me too. He goes, I find a peace and understanding that my future is already set. My intuition is at its highest form because it's aligned with it, and there's a symmetry that's going on in my life. And I'm like, that's what I feel like that's like what I'm striving for. Is which in connection with your song mind body soul. Like me and Vic talk about the mind, body, and soul being like a trinity. And it's like those are
you
the
need to have them all.
Yeah, those are like
the most highest.
Levels. And if you don't, and you can't have one without the other.
Yeah,
so, if you have body, trust me, there's a lot of people that they'll have mind and body and no soul, or this body and nothing after that. You know what I mean? That's and no one understands. Like what you just said, the Holy Trinity. That's you get that. That's life, bro. We get that. We don't have no issues in life for the most part. We can all solve each other's issues, but people just
come to an understanding. We won't be so fucking. Like, you know what I mean? We won't be so. The word I'm looking for is like blind, or like ignorant to each other.
Yeah, everyone's ignorant. Yeah.
And bro, so really quick with that is, I feel like once you know that they kind of feed into each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get your body right, and your body feels good, your mind feels great.
Yeah.
You feel clear in the mind, and you're ready to go. And when those two are resonating with each other, your soul resonates with it too, and it becomes like a cycle of your soul feeding into your body, feeding into your mind to your soul. And then that's like, it kind of becomes like exponential growth after that.
You feel almost like, I don't want to say untouchable, but you feel like nothing can phase you because you're so like
because
in tune.
I feel like I only catch that energy for moments at a time, and when I catch that, when I realize, like, you know, I'm like in the gym caring about myself and my body, right, and then I'm like going home, and instead of going to watch TV, going on social media, I read a book, right,
and that clears the path for your soul. I want you to understand, like, that's the thing, is like, that's not a mind act that you just did. You know what I mean? Like, the reading and the knowledge is soulful, because like media is the biggest, and this has always been the issue. Media has always been the issue, especially when capitalism came to play. Like, we need more money, we need more bread. So this, and I was saying this to my to Fu yesterday too. I was like, bro, there's a photographer, a Japanese photographer, who he would take pictures of like Japanese women, and it was mostly like nude. It was mostly nude, and it was just there's pretty much, let me put it like this. There's a lot of things that people do, and we just don't talk about it. So in Japan, they have like some sort of bondage thing when it comes to sex, and he just if you go dig deeper, it's apparently has something ritual to do with like Japan in general, like this bondage form of sex, right? So the guy just took photos of it, you know what I mean? And then he was just expressing what his reality was. Like, he grew up in this culture, so that was part of the culture. That was part of the life. So the girl like was just like, yo, the guy, like, he didn't like physically assault me or sexually assault me or anything, but like he was always just like, I felt like more like a product or this, that, and the third. And I was looking at it, I'm just like, I mean, I said, like, what did you know, the art form and everything, what you wanted, human connection out of that, you know, like the whole focus of it for him, it's art form. Yeah. Because there's history, there's heritage and culture behind this format of physical interaction. And I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, bro, and I was like, bro, no bullshit. The world is just pornography. The world is just pornography at this point, and it's like, it's from politics, it's from, you know, from human beings to sex itself. And it's so crazy because, you know, media just takes one. It just gonna pit sex and lust in your face. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the
that makes
battle.
You click. That's what it
that's
is. It makes you click, and
that's your soul, bro. Like, once it takes your soul from you, it's a dub.
So,
you know.
little bit into my like personal life. I'm going abstinent for 6 months. No sex, no like.
I used to do that for I did that for a minute.
Yeah.
No, but you could say I'm on that right now, I guess.
Yeah.
No bull, because I haven't done anything. I don't know. I haven't done anything.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, no sex, no jerking off or nothing. And like I could see the world, that's what they feed you, bro. I'll be on TikTok and I start getting lost in like these shorties, and I'm like, hey, yo, cool.
It's not the world, but look. So the world makes it so that it looks good.
World
and then the girls are like, yo, that's what's good. So then they go and fucking put.
And
that
then it
energy
comes on
into
our
that
screen.
plate.
You know what I'm saying?
And but then we feed into it.
They feed into it, and then it could be even that you
It's a
get off.
cycle.
Let's just say you get off Instagram, and then you go on CNN or Fox or Market Watch or something, Wall Street Journal, and then they pit more porn in various ways. It's a riot over here, black kid dies over here, Mexican kid over here kidnaps such and such, or robs a store, and this, that, and the third. And you're just like, everything's just fucking fucked up.
So
it's
I found this actually connects with. He goes, empty bottles, empty conversations, soulless people, no one with true intent in their words. It's the worst feeling in the world to me. Bars.
Yeah, and that's man, that's everywhere. That's LA, that's New York, that's Mass. I hear it, and I'm not with that. I'm not with that. So if you're around me, I'm gonna force my hand into having some. If we try to have a conversation, we're gonna talk about some shit,
some real shit. That's
real
me.
shit.
Yeah. That's me. Bro.
That's the goal of this podcast.
Yeah,
we want to be as real and genuine as possible. And I mean, like the fucking Wonder Bread story I was talking about. I've never said that before.
I didn't even know that.
I never said that before. But like that was just like in the moment. I just like said it to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's just me being as real as possible. That's what I'm saying. That's the goal for this shit. Is to be as real and genuine as myself as I can be. You know, and I hope that me and Jason being ourselves gets like our guests to be
the biggest thing. This is another thing, because me and Fu talk all the time. That's my brother. So we talking. He's like, you got to work. The biggest thing is working on being invulnerable. You know what I mean? Because the worst term, I believe in reverse law. So whenever someone says something, I always think the opposite of that. So if someone's like, you gotta be vulnerable, you gotta be more vulnerable, your vulnerability. Like I've heard that from shorties in my life. I heard but I'm just like, my invulnerableness is gonna be the thing that leads me. So if I'm on the path to just come out and say, right now, I'm talking about Wonder Bread. Fuck that, and then you talk about Wonder Bread for a whole podcast, you know what I mean? And if that, but there's always fear, like, I don't know if that's gonna drive numbers and this, that, and the third. Like, we'll be vulnerable to numbers and views, and people might not tap into it. And that's what sucks with data. It's the same thing even with like basketball, because like NBA, they went into analytics, and analytics removed a lot of things from the actual spirit of basketball and what's needed to. Like it oozes, sports and media and music all ooze into life. Yeah. So if we're acting away and we go to the NBA and then you see dudes just jacking threes at 30-foot threes that's not Steph Curry, you're like, all right, I don't want to watch this shit no more. So it's stuff like that. It could be deflating. So that's why I say that. Being invulnerable is so important. Like if I come to y'all and my album and I'm singing 60% of the time, that's what it is. You know what I mean? If I'm rapping on a boom bap beat. Yeah, that's what it is, and I'm gonna be unpredictable, you know what I mean? Because it's just all about what I'm feeling, in the moment. So, what I'm reading and what I'm just attached to. It's the same thing with music too, because I could keep doing this, and then I might fuck around, just make a kid book. I don't know if I get there,
right?
Yeah, or just become in my head as I retire, like I get older, I'm like 40, 50. I want to just coach. I just want to coach basketball, high school.
I want to coach baseball. That's one thing
I'm gonna make that happen.
I want to be like, yo, I got like a speech already in my head. I want to be like, yo, y'all play like video games? Oh, what kind of video games you play? Oh, Call of Duty. Like, are you good? Yeah. How'd you get good? I played every day. So we're gonna practice every day.
Yeah. You know what? You want to know what's the biggest thing too? My best coaches walked different lives. They walked many lives. So like the coaches that weren't too good, they were just. I'm basketball and I'm working hard all the time. Deep work, this is all I do. And don't get me wrong, deep focus and everything is needed. But if you don't live, if you don't go out, if you don't have curiosity, and speaking with whatever, let's just say a Muslim, or then next thing you know, you're talking to a white politician, all these things, or you're messing with a Spanish shorty, you're messing with a black shorty. Like these experiences open your mind. So, and then you go live in Russia for a year. I don't know, shit like that. Like if you have these things that you're feeling. That's when I realized you could bring a lot more to the table. Because if I just come to kids at 50 like, I've been here my whole entire life, like I worked there, I worked that, and that's me. And it's just like it's like that. Boo, like that's whack. Like I remember my I'm sorry. My high school coach was in the Marines, so he had. I'll be in it like.
He had that discipline in him,
bro. The discipline and the stories and the personality. So he's one of the biggest people to this day that was pivotal in my life. I don't care. He was a super MAGA. Like he became super MAGA. Like I didn't see him, but he had a Twitter, and his Twitter was just like very MAGA. Like I said, bro, I don't care. That's still my guy. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, bro, that guy's the greatest dude. One of the greatest guys to this day I met. You know what I mean? In the category of my father and my brother. You know what I mean? Fool. These guys like he's there. So it's just like. That's when I understood, like, damn, man, when you have so many varieties of different walks of life, man, and you can bring it to the kids, that's what they need, because then they need to branch out, and you leave your crib once, and you go move, and, I don't know, live in Chicago for a year with your shorty. You don't do that, you know what I mean? Because if you just stand still, you might not have anything to give for the next generation, because it's like, you just stood here the whole time. Yeah. Because the next generation is going to be ruthless.
They're going to legit be like, what did you do?
I know how I was treating my coach, at 17 to 21. I was talking my shit. I'm like, you whack.
Yeah.
Cool. But my high school coach, I didn't talk shit to him once. Cause I'm just like, bro, that's that guy. You know,
he's been in it. Yeah,
he's been in it. Fool, he's been in it. You know, me, my brother, he's been in it. My father, he's been in it. So I'm just like, I'm listening. So that's all it takes, man.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read this last one, then we can finish after this. So you go. So I push through and keep developing these good traits. When my mind is stuck on lust, I can't even be mad, and it sucks because it starts there due to low vibrational conversations.
Yeah, and it's tough because low vibrational conversations could be enticing because lust is all physical. It's all physical features. So when you see a woman that I find attractive, like that's got, let's just say, from clothing to body language to all that, right? We can say, if we're gonna just put layman terms on it, IG baddie, right? And just like they have a certain aesthetic. An educated shorty has a certain aesthetic. A woman who's nurtured very well and wants to be a mother has a certain aesthetic. All these things. So and those are very high vibrational, people in general, people that are seeking and searching. Yeah. And a lot of these women that I've been around specifically, I'm not gonna say all women because I can't get, I'll never.
Yeah, you can't 100% that.
Can't. So the women I've been around, man, it's just they have a certain look, they have a certain belief system right now that they care about more than actual self. You know what I mean? They just care, like, let's just I'm just having fun, good time with my friends, and I'm looking good.
It's that Drizzy bar. He says, "You believe in angles more than angels."
Yeah, and it's crazy because Drake at the same time too. It's tough because he knows he has a responsibility. But he's also human, so he'll say that, and then the next second he's saying girls love girls, and it's just like, I love that you do.
I'm a lesbian
right?
too.
I'm right. So and that's the pull and tug of always taking people's word with a grain of salt. Now with artists today, and that's the problem. Like VB, to me, it's, and I hope we keep it that way. Life always gonna happen to certain people. They go on certain paths. Who knows? Certain aspirations. Everyone's different in VB. The whole point is just to be original and authentic. You know what I mean? I don't want to be superficial. And if I have an interest, like for example, like on Sly, I'm like, yo, so I'm having the 3-way. And I'm just like, bro, that's an interest of mine. It's just like, that's my interest. I have 2 shorties, and that's like, I want that. You know what I mean? And that's just me being honest. Yeah. And it's just little things like that. And when it occurs, it occurs. It has not yet to occur, but when it does,
y'all gotta make that shit happen.
The tweets
y'all gotta make that shit happen.
So it's just shit like that. It's shit like that. That I could be honest about, but my answer, if it was worth it, will come out in my music down the road too. I know which side I'm taking on that. I gotta understand what it's coming with. So who knows? Once it happens, I might be like, this is the worst shit ever.
Yo, ladies,
it was amazing. So it's little things like that, bro. The anatomy of like just the diaspora of being, ethnic, you being black, you being of ethnic culture, understanding your culture, understanding what it was like in the past. You probably had great grandpas, grandmas that was out here wilding. I know I got like a 17-year-old aunt, out there in Haiti. So it's just like, I know my grandpa was doing some things. So it's little things like that I understand. Like, the world is just a beast if you don't have control over your emotions, man. Lust, especially. Lust is my biggest battle. That's my biggest battle. Just because they control, like I said, they control the hype. Those are things. That's why barriers, I always point to that. Expensive taste, aligned with that too. Dealing with women that had values that were high,
Their
that they
materials?
were high in value but low in morals. You know what I mean? So, you want designer? That's why. That's why.
Did you write that down one day? You just said that right now?
No, that's the point of expensive taste.
Oh, that's fucking.
You feel me? Like that was that's just the breakdown. You know what I mean? That's the point.
That was great.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this shit.
Is that bar in there?
Here
You
you
said that?
No, that's just the concept.
But you should have said that bar. That's a fucking bar.
Nah, that's the reason why I like keeping it that way, because it wasn't in that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the point. You sit with the music and you can try to map it out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why even your reaction, that's the point. You know what I mean? So I know what I'm fighting. I know what I got to go against. You know what I mean?
Just gotta keep fucking
it's
working on these good traits. That's what it is,
bro. It's interesting, and your peers are important too. So I can only hope that VV, you know, as we grow as men, we all search and study and work on ourselves and lean on one another when we need to. And we're in a generation where we're not doing that at all. It's more fragmented than it's ever been since COVID. So having the fragmentation, having your podcast, and then so and so can have their podcast in Boston, so and so. I know they have Podcast of the Year awards at BME and stuff, right? So there's other ones that exist too, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, those guys cool, bro. But we talking about the long term. You know what I mean? We're talking about, you know, where does Messy Rooms go from here, like this space, if you move out,
thinking Disney.
You know, right? You know,
want to be like, you know.
So and everyone else is thinking that too, you know, and that's now because
I just want to do it real, bro.
Right.
Right. So I want to do it like huge, like Disney,
right?
But like as real as possible.
It's just, I feel like
as genuine as
you know what I mean. You're eventually gonna be, you know, somebody that people are looking up to, and we have you sit here and be this real like you are today. Mm-hmm. It's gonna have that person that's listening to be like, I need to be like that, and I need to be less afraid to be bars. Saint Leor. He says fucking. He says
a lot.
He says a lot. But a lot. He goes. It's like he's like you got to be yourself. Even though it's the easiest thing to do, that people are not. I forgot what the actual bar is. It's in Bad for Press, bro.
Bad for Press, okay.
He says, "Oh, you just were talking about this the other day, bro."
I know, cause this bars. He goes. It's like something like, be yourself, even though it's like the easy thing to do. Fuck, I'm not gonna remember it right now. I don't want.
Damn, I wish I remember off the top of my head.
Cause I know it's in the hook, bro. Like this, I'm telling you that.
Do you know which record?
I know if I heard it from the start. It is.
It is what it is.
No, it's not. I think it's Relax.
Okay. Yeah,
ain't no such thing as peer. Be what you want, even though it takes less effort.
Yeah.
So that's what he says. But I don't know if I'm taking this out of context, but I feel like he's saying, be what you want, like be who you want to be, even though it takes less effort. Like he has to tell you to be who you want to be.
Even though it's the easier way.
Even though it's the easier way to live, you still have to be told, because this world makes it seem like being that is wrong.
Yeah.
It's the Jim Carrey thing where he's like, what's he say? Depression and shit is your body telling you to stop acting
the way that you're acting.
The way you're acting and be your true genuine self. Yeah. That's that's what it is. I
can say the biggest thing too. Shout out Jim Carrey. That's a huge thinker. And it's like depression. I know was a big thing. That was mainly the point of 9-4. Really was just depression, and like that was just because I felt connected to one thing and disconnected from the other. So I was connected heavily to a passion of art, and then disconnected from the actual thing that was bringing income. So that's just no working that.
That's a whole nother combo that we could have.
Yeah, that's his own deep.
We gotta cut it because I know you got.
Sadly, we got.
Sadly, bro, it's been a great convo.
Maybe we got a part 2 out of you, bro, one day.
I'll pop it when the album comes.
Let's fucking do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meech BOLD, bro. That's
Meech
what I can say.
Fucking bold, yo. Take it off, bro. Take it off.
But we're gonna let you know more in the messy moment.
Messy moment. Messy moment. Messy moment.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you, the episode with Meech BOLD right here had to be the great. Well, bro, I'm telling you, if you don't think this
I've been waiting for this moment.
This was
this was it. This was it.
This was fucking it. Listen, you gotta understand. We had super high expectations for this fucking episode, just in our studying and the greatness of his music and all this stuff, and his tweets are even fucking dope as shit. You know what I'm saying? And to come in here, this dude like bro, let's say the expectations were right here. This dude's like 4 blocks away, just fucking killing the game. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, bro. You gotta follow him on every fucking platform you could. Tell
let him know. Let him know what to listen to your music too.
Yeah, that's Meech _bold on all platforms, and then you can find the link in the bio. I mean, the fan link will be in the bio. Yeah, Apple Music, all streaming services, SoundCloud, YouTube. A couple videos. Got more work to do.
Check out
more
VB.
movies to film. VB Vanburen Records. This year, just know. At the end of the day, we got work to do. So.
Ooh, just fucking know, ladies and gentlemen.
Got work to do, man.
We're in the messy moment. Messy moment's a time where we reflect and we dive into this amazing fucking conversation we had with Meech BOLD right here. When I tell you it's a time where we could highlight something that we really loved about the podcast. It's a time where we just reflect and just dive into some creative thinking or whatever the fuck we want. It's a time where we can promote. It's just the ending credits for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So my messy moment is just like how this dude's energy is amazing. Like his aura, his essence is so like just cool. Like you feel like you can tell this dude your whole life. You know what I mean? So in the moment, you know what I mean, we're chopping it up and we're having a great conversation. And I said a story about, you know, the Wonder Bread and the sauce with the cheese and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's a real personal story to me. That's like, you know, real personal to me because that's like my life. You know what I mean? My mom is my superhero, you know what I mean? She's my superstar. She's my everything. And for her to like a moment where she was like, she made everything feel right. You know what I mean? A time where she was like, I guess as a kid, I was asking for pizza or whatever. She couldn't afford it. So she found an alternative and made it fun and made it such a memory where I didn't even think it was anything crazy. Is like such a,
and you look on there like as a fun, like a good memory.
Yeah, and it was it's such a like a crazy moment in my life, and just like to be able to share it with Meech was just such a beautiful moment. And that just shows how great of a person he is. That I just you know what I mean, I never said that before, that's and just to have the confidence to say that.
Shout out to your mom, dog.
I appreciate that, man. And that's my messy moment, man. That you're just so real and authentic, and you know, like your music, like everything, that I could be as real and authentic as I could possibly have been. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
That's like my messy moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next. So for me, my messy moment was definitely that, like starting off, dog. I'm telling you, me and Vic were arguing. We were like, "Yo, how the fuck we gonna start?" Because we want to start it off right. You know what I mean? Bring the energy right at the start. And he's like talking about Reese's cups. I'm like, bro, shut up, dog.
That would have been a dope question. I think
right at the start. I was like, no,
it would have been. So background story, yo. He said the cookies and cream Hershey's was way better than Reese's.
Yes.
And Reese's is my favorite fucking candy. So when I seen that shit, I was like, whoa, buddy, whoa. You know what I mean?
Sorry, bro.
But he wants to start off with that, but I'm like, bro, I know, because I want to talk about the project first, and I know this is the energy, bro. You should. I'm gonna put that video. This dude's running up and down. He doesn't care. He catches the rebound all the way down, out. It's dipping, bro. So I love the energy, and I love that. I gave you the phone to look at it. Yeah. He didn't even look at it. He already seen the video.
He was like, oh, man.
Once I saw the text, I was like, no way. No way they found this, bro.
So and on top of that too, you know, I love bringing those kind of moments especially for somebody like you deserve that shit. You make beautiful art.
Right.
You gotta be able to, you know, you should be able to express yourself in the best way possible. So I'm glad I got to be able to do that for you, bro.
I don't think anybody will ever do that again. I'm dead. I'll be so surprised. Unless I'm like the biggest superstar in the world or something. Because they don't do that.
Yeah.
Interviewers won't do that until you get to like Nardwar.
Yeah.
That's some Nardwar shit.
Oh man, Jill, appreciate you, dog. Nardwar is another one of my heroes.
Amazing. Watch his TED Talk. It's amazing.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah.
Bro,
it's amazing.
I watched that shit, bro. That dude's a beast.
I think my missing moment, I would say, is definitely just making this happen, because it's been a minute. We've been trying to do this since like September.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in everything aligns when it needs to. So and life was happening for me, you, everyone, you know, school, all that. So just doing this interview was it was so far is definitely one of the more entertaining, interactive. I like the questions was amazing. You know what I mean? You guys didn't ask them no more weak ass questions. So that was I really do appreciate it. We gotta do the part 2.
Oh man, part 2 coming soon. I promise you,
when the album, whenever it's done, it might be end of this year. Who knows? I don't know.
Hey, it's gonna take the time, whatever time it takes, bro. You know it's gonna hit though. That's it.
You know that.
Yeah, man.
But ladies and gentlemen,
Appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the saddest time of the show. It's the time when we take the fucking napkins and we start crying because we gotta say goodbye.
bro,
Goodbye.
check you later.
Check you later.
Yo, Vanburen, to the fucking moon, to the moon.